Hey, I want to thank you for checking out Drive, and I'm excited to show you a little bit about what the product does and take it for a spin. Booking is the most important step. Without good booking, you don't have the chance to sell. Most people's booking process right now is losing them jobs. What we've found is 94% of customers choose the provider that has the most seamless booking experience. Usually that comes down to online booking. You know this, online booking works. You've probably tried it before, and it probably didn't work for you. Most of these products are not built for the field. They just move one headache from one spot to another spot. They don't actually get rid of the headache altogether. Bad bookings, they cost you money. They prevent you from making money on qualified leads. You're spending time in the car, in the truck, driving all around town. You're spending too much money on people to help organize calendars and schedules and appointments. And ultimately, the leads that are ready to book end up getting lost. And that ends up being a real cost to your business. Generic tools like, Calendly, Acuity, things like this, they're built mostly for virtual appointments. They're not built for appointments out in the field. And it's no disrespect to those tools. They just weren't built for the trades. A lot of these field service tools like, Service Titan, Jobber, House Call Pro, offer similar things, but they just don't do it to the level of quality. A lot of these services, when they try to do too many things at once, they do all of them pretty good. It's expensive to use something that does everything, but it ends up costing you money if it doesn't actually operate at the level that you need it to. And ultimately, grassroots solutions just don't scale. Things get lost. They become expensive. And they're not very secure. Drive doesn't book by availability only. It's booking where your team already is, helping the scheduler do their job faster and better and give them more time to focus on leads that need a little bit more attention. Drive does think like your best employee. It uses AI for lead qualification. It takes into account drive time routing, and it helps with post-sale scheduling. The logic that's built into the algorithm thinks exactly like somebody that would work in your back office. One of the biggest things is just the level of people who are skeptical going into it, either of new tech or, skeptical that it can actually do this sort of thing. And they're all very pleased to find that Drive can actually handle the level of complexity that is involved in your scheduling operation. The setup is pretty quick. You just set up your account, you connect your calendar, configure your organization, and could start booking smarter. You can build your first form in about 5 minutes. We can also help build those things as well. Essentially, any company that has a appointment out in the field, Drive can help schedule those appointments. We found a lot of early success in window coverings, power washing, concrete coatings, generator installation, garage doors, commercial cleaning, HVAC, a lot of the trades that are mentioned here. People want what they want when they want it. And there's an on-demand expectation that's entering the trades. Drive is seeking to close that gap and help to deliver the value that you provide to your customers even more efficiently, faster, better. So with that, I'm actually going to transition into showing you some of the things that Drive can actually do on the back end. So this is a sample company that I've created. You'll find that the main things that you've got are users, teams, and appointments. Each appointment has its own booking form. Each user is assigned to a team, which is then assigned to an appointment. The scheduling view, you can see each stage of appointment. So if a lead comes in and is disqualified, it'll drop into this request column. You can manually approve it and schedule it after the fact. If you have a qualified lead that just hasn't been scheduled yet, it drops into this needs scheduled column. From here, you can either have the customer book with you by sending them a booking link, or you can schedule the most optimal time for this appointment type. We operate off of a good, better, best. So best is green, better is yellow, good is red. Red would insinuate that it may not be the most optimal time to book that appointment based off of drive time, but if you need to squeeze it in, you can go ahead and book that. We do have an integration with CompanyCam, so you can link existing projects or create a new project from Drive. One of the questions you can set up for funneling new leads in is to require a photo. So if you schedule that appointment, you approve the customer, they've uploaded a photo, and now you have an appointment scheduled. When your tech goes out into the field and uses CompanyCam, you'll see the photos that they uploaded, and the project will already have been created on the CompanyCam side. We've also got a calendar view where you can see your own calendar. You can also look at other people's calendars or teams. The CompanyCam tab lets you browse through your feed of projects without having to actually leave the app and go into CompanyCam. From here, you could book an appointment associated with each of those. So let's say that Woodsdale Home had an appointment, a follow-up from 2025 that needed to get scheduled. I could go into Woodsdale Home and I could book an appointment from right there. I mentioned earlier that each appointment type has a booking form. This is where when you go into appointment types, you would set up your questions. So an example of a question would be, have you hired us before? And let's say that it's a single select, yes, no. Then let's say I want to ask a follow-up question. Have you hired this type of work before? But I only want this to show up if they answer no. When they're asked if they've hired this type of work before, if they answer no, then they'll see this question. That helps you understand if they actually understand the budget, the scope, the process associated with this type of work that they're hiring you to do. You don't have to set up the contact information on the booking form. We take care of that for you. It's first name, last name, email, phone number. I'll give you an example of this. So this is where you can see, this is what the customer will see. You've hired them before. They can go ahead and fill out their information. If no, then they get this follow-up question. This just gives you the ability to see what the customer will see on the other end. If you have multiple appointment types like we have here, the routing form gives you the ability to ask questions on the front end that would route them to a specific type of appointment. Let's say that you have two similar appointment types, but one might be a certain type of generator, the other appointment type is a different generator, and they have different time associated with it. You may not necessarily want to ask your customer which type of generator that they want. But by answering specific questions, you could route them to the specific job type. On the company end, you can set all of your branding, your company, your website. So you can set up custom colors, your logo, and then you can also book your standard availability. Now, this is your standard availability for the company, but each individual team can set up their own availability. So if you have a team that only works, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's different from the company, you can set that up within the appointment type. If Jim only takes sales calls on Thursday afternoons and he's done doing installs the rest of the time, you can configure that specifically for Jim based on when he's assigned to those specific teams. You can set up within appointment types as well. You can set up your preferences with scheduling, like default address, default appointment duration, buffer time before and after, and booking window. So how long of lead time and how long in advance can they book this? You can set up notifications. You can also turn these off if you want to. You can set up these automated reminders and confirmations directly within Driive. We're currently still building a lot of our integrations. Everything is built with CompanyCam, Go High Level, Google Calendar, and Outlook. We've got some other interesting integrations that are coming soon. Once you sign up, you can let us know which ones you're most interested in by uploading the integrations that you want to see. That's a bit about Driive. Thanks for checking it out. Once again, there's a lot more to it. Would love the chance to walk you through more of the capabilities that Driive provides. But for now, we'll talk soon.